Hi guys, this is the long-form video channel Fourth Edits. So if you like his videos you should subscribe to this channel too. Today we have to talk about something that has honestly been ignored all season long. And it's one of the biggest football injustices I've seen in years. We need to talk about how Raphinha was so underrated, especially during the 24-25 season. People act like this is some hot take, but the reality is that Raphinha was absolutely superior to Yamal last season. Yet the Barcelona fanbase kept pushing Yamal for the Ballon d'Or instead of Raphinha. And why? Simply because Yamal is an academy player. That's literally the only reason. And we're going to talk about how that narrative affected everything later in the video. But let's set the stage first. Raphinha was clearly the best player in the world last year. Not one of the best, the best. And then after all of that, after pulling over 60 goal contributions in all competitions, after putting up a Champions League campaign that tied Cristiano Ronaldo's record of 21 goal contributions, he gets placed 5th in the Ballon d'Or. 5th. It sounds impossible when you look at what he actually did. He even became the tied top scorer in the Champions League, but somehow didn't win the Golden Boot outright because UEFA went with Guirassy due to fewer minutes played. A decision that made absolutely no sense, because historically, the award goes to the one who scores the most goals, not the one who did it with fewer minutes. That alone was already bizarre, but it doesn't stop there. Raphinha was also the top assister in the Champions League, the player with the most chances created, and the player with the most big chances created. He dominated Europe at every level but somehow didn't win player of the tournament. Dembele won it instead. And look, Dembele had a great season, nobody is denying that, but to say he was the best player in the Champions League over Raphinha is honestly crazy. The stats don't back it up. The performances don't back it up, and the impact doesn't back it up. Raphinha scored 13 goals in the Champions League, compared to Dembele's 8. Raphinha assisted 8 goals. Dembele assisted 6. They both created 38 chances, but Raphinha created 13 big chances, while Dembele created only 4. Raphinha averaged almost 1 goal per 90 minutes, 0.96 to be exact, while Dembele averaged only 0.62. Even expected goals favored Raphinha heavily, with 0.92 per 90 minutes compared to Dembele's 0.63. When it came to attacking, output, and efficiency, Raphinha was on a different level. His shooting efficiency was also superior, with 5.28 shots per 90, 2.1 shots on target per 90, and 0.18 goals per shot, compared to Dembele's 4.9, 7 shots, 1.79 on target, and 0.13 goals per shot. The only area where Dembele was significantly better was ball progression, with more progressive carries and slightly more progressive passes. But everything else? Raphinha was the one carrying the tournament. He was the one producing elite, rare numbers in every attacking category, and yet somehow he didn't get the award. And here's where the conversation gets even more interesting. Because if Raphinha was clearly better than Dembele, then how did Yamal end up being talked about as the Ballon d'Or contender from Barcelona? It's simple. He's the academy star. The 16-year-old prodigy. The media loves that storyline. Barcelona fans love that storyline. It's the exact same pattern we've seen for years. Academy players automatically get pushed harder than anyone else. Yamal had a very exciting season, yes, but excitement is not the same as impact. And when you directly compare Raphinha and Yamal in the Champions League, it becomes clear that the hype around Yamal overshadowed the reality of what Raphinha was doing every single game. In the Champions League, Raphinha scored 13 goals. Yamal scored 4. Raphinha assisted 8 goals. Yamal assisted 3. Raphinha created 38 chances while Yamal created 21. Raphinha created 13 big chances while Yamal created 5. Raphinha was not just better, he was miles ahead. His numbers were superstar numbers, while Yamal's were very good for his age, but not close to what Raphinha delivered. And yet, week after week, you saw Barcelona fans, content creators, and accounts online talking about Yamal as if he was carrying the team through the Champions League, but he wasn't. The one carrying the team was Raphinha. The one producing European record numbers was Raphinha. The one changing knockout matches was Raphinha. The truth just didn't fit the narrative people wanted to push. And this pattern continues in La Liga as well. Raphinha had 17 league goals, Yamal had 8. Raphinha had 15 assists, Yamal had 9. Raphinha created 81 chances, Yamal created 62. Raphinha created 18 big chances, Yamal created 12. Again, both were good. But Raphinha's production was simply on a world-class level. Even if you take the eye test into account, Raphinha consistently delivered full 90-minute performances. Yamal delivered magical moments, but not complete games. The difference between consistency and flashes is important, and fans tend to ignore that when talking about young talents. What makes this even more frustrating is that whenever Barcelona needed saving, whenever the team was struggling, whenever the attack needed someone to step up, Raphinha was the one dragging them forward. He became the difference maker in every competition. He was the most reliable attacker in Spain. His outputs were matching some of the best wingers in Europe's recent history. But because he's not a La Masia product, because he's not 16, because he doesn't fit the new superstar storyline, he was never appreciated the way he should have been. And that's why finishing 5th in the Ballon d'Or isn't just disappointing, it's disrespectful. Because if any other winger in the world had this exact same season, we would be talking about it the same way we talk about prime Neymar, early Mbappe, or peak Salah. If Vinicius put up these numbers, the hype would break the internet. If Musiala or Saka or Odegaard had this level of Champions League dominance, they'd be the undisputed favorite for the Ballon d'Or. But because it was Raphinha, the football world simply moved on, without acknowledging how insane his season truly was. The craziest part is that this wasn't a season built on stat padding. It wasn't built on penalties. It wasn't built on dominating weak teams. Raphinha was delivering in big games, knockout stages, high-pressure moments, and tight competitions. He was turning difficult matches into wins. He was turning half-chances into goals. He was turning scraps of possession into decisive actions. The man genuinely played at a level that very few wingers in the last decade have reached. And no matter what the awards said, no matter what online narratives people pushed, the numbers don't lie. The performances don't lie. The impact doesn't lie. Raphinha had a generational season, a season that should have won him multiple individual awards, a season that deserved far more recognition than it got, a season that, years from now, people will look back on and wonder how the football world managed to miss it.